Hey there, welcome back to Angry Bird. Today I'm going to tell you why everything can be paid for. Everything. Every fucking thing can be paid for. And I'm going to give you the math on it. The math that the billionaires don't want you to know. The rich don't want you to understand. The laws written are meant to keep it hidden from you. But this is the math. You can quick Google search any of these numbers, any of them. All right? They don't even have to be perfect. They don't have to be because the relevance of them is what matters. All right? I'm going to explain. If you don't know, every single person in the USA, total payout. That means all compensation, every dollar ever made in a year, paid out is about $23 trillion. All right? $23 trillion. There's 161 million workers working in the USA. All right? On average, per worker, the USA produces $142,857 in payout. Obviously, workers, normal blokes, little people don't get that. But the point is that's what the average is, all right? If you took everybody out there and averaged it all out, that's what they make on average. That's the payout, $142,857. All right. What's our government spend every year? It's $6.13 trillion, right? Fully funded. As is, as broken as it is right now, as broken as it is, it's $6.13 trillion. Okay? If we paid that in full, as is, fully funded, all right? Every worker would have to pay a tax, $38,075. All right? Every worker. That's on average. Seems high. But again, everything's fully funded. Fully. No, we're not borrowing anymore, man. It's fully paid. All right? And that leaves $104,782 left over per employee working. Okay? That would be the payout still. Okay, we paid all the bills for the government, and this is what we have left each. Okay, so what about medical, man? Let's just throw medical in there. What the fuck? Why not? We each have $104,000, right? 104,782. I'm not saying we each, but that's what the math says on average. That's what it works out to. Okay, per person. That's what the average American produces in wages. All right. So, you pay. We can't do it American healthcare, right? That's bullshit, right? For profit. We don't do that, right? We got to do like something like a government funded like Canada. So if you don't know, per person in Canada, they foot the bill each at $7,068 per person. Each. All right? So each one of them, that's their tax. That's what they pay to have free medical. Go whenever they need to. Get what they need, blah, blah, blah. The whole 9 yards. Okay. To fund it in the USA, the same way they do it in Canada, it would add another $2.434 trillion yearly. Yearly to the debt. Now you got to realize the $6.13 trillion has medical in it. It does. So some of that's coming out, but I'm just pretending like we're not pulling it out. We're just slapping more debt, man. You know, the way they always say liberals do. We just slap more debt. All right, so we're just going to slap some more government in there. We're going to slap some more spending in there, right? What do you think that works out for 340 million of us, each getting free Medicare, free medical? All right, that would work out to where everybody working would have to pay an additional, so they've already paid $38,075 in taxes. Now we're really going to get them. We're going to tax them even harder. We're going to, one more in the chin. 14,966 more each. each. But y'all got free medical. And you see how that works? You see how the math is? And that leaves per worker, $89,816 left over. Now, I want you to envision a world where we don't make shit that costs $10 million. We make shit that always is within a reasonable price range. People living on around somewhere between $50,000 to $100,000 range. Always everybody working is within the range. We could build society, lower income, higher income, within a range, and we could make it work. If we allow billionaires to get all the extra, and then we're borrowing just to keep our government funded, just so they can get tax breaks. Think about what I just said. The money's there to pay for it. It's there. You know, there's about 90,000 left over after the government's fully funded and medical is fully funded in your life for each person that works out there on average. So the company has to get a little bit. So they get a little bit, and then it lowers the wages a little bit. But there's still, look, medical's covered. The government's fully funded. We're not borrowing. Shit's paid for. We're problem solving at this point. You know, they don't want to get to that point. They want us to believe there ain't no money. They want us to believe we have to borrow. They want us to believe that we have such a big government at $6 trillion. $6 trillion is just way over the top, too big. And yet here they are trying to privatize each aspect so they could profit off of it. You see, it was never about lessening government. It was never about that. It was about them gutting the government to profit off the entities of the government. And when you learn that shit, you start realizing they really fucked us, man. These guys are really fucking us. The math is the math. You can't, that's what it adds up to. What society do you want on that type of money? That's what we're making. That's what they're paying out. Who's collecting it all? Because it ain't going back into society. If it was, we could easily foot the bill and then some. We could foot the bill and then some. We could make it a fucking paradise. Whatever paradise we choose. Really. But see, they don't want us voicing. They don't want us having some sort of equilibrium in society. They want sharks and little fish to eat. And until we change the way we see it, and until everyone understands that fucking math, we're never going to get there. It's just a thought. I love y'all. The math is the math. They shouldn't exist because all they did was destroy us to exist. All right. Love y'all. Bye.